Give some examples of unobserved person-specific variables that are correlated with both education and earnings. Can you think of examples of time-specific variables that might be correlated with education and earnings? How would you control for these person-specific and time-specific effects in a panel data regression? Answer 10.2. A person's ability or motivation might affect both education and earnings. More able individuals tend to complete more years of schooling, and for a given level of education, they tend to have higher earnings. The same is true for highly motivated people. The state of the macroeconomy is a time-specific variable that affects both earnings and education. During recessions, unemployment is high, earnings are low, and enrollment in colleges increases. Person-specific and time-specific fixed effects can be included in the regression to control for person-specific and time-specific variables. In this case, the effect of education on earnings is estimated using the variation in earnings for individuals whose education changed during the 10-year sample. 10.3. Can the regression that you suggested in response to question 10.2 be used to estimate the effect of a worker's sex on his or her earnings? Can that regression be used to estimate the effect of the national unemployment rate on an individual's earnings? Explain. Answer 10.3. When person-specific fixed effects are included in a regression, they capture all features of the individual. They capture all features of the individual that do not vary over the time period. Since sex does not vary over the sample period, its effect on earnings cannot be determined separately from the person-specific fixed effect. Similarly, time fixed effects capture all features of the time period that do not vary across individuals. The national unemployment rate is the same for all individuals in the sample at a given point in time, and thus its effect on earnings cannot be determined separately from the time-specific fixed effect. 10.4. In the context of regression, you suggested for question 10.2, explain why the regression error for a given individual might be serially correlated. Answer 10.4. There are several factors that will lead to serial correlation. For example, the economic conditions in a particular individual city or industry might be different from the economy-wide average that is captured by the regression's time-fixed effect. If these conditions vary slowly over time, they will lead to serial correlation in the error term. As another example, suppose that in 2009 the individual is lucky and finds a particularly high-paying job that she keeps through 2014. Other things equal, this will lead to negative values of U subscript IT before 2009, when the individual's earnings are lower than her average earnings over 2008 through 2017, and positive values in 2014 and later when the individual's earnings are higher than average.